Hey everybody, I'm Garrett DeMeyer from Rail Constrictor Designs. I wanted to go back and revisit a clutch that I hatched last week that I showed in my previous video, the one that left me really confused as far as what was going on. It was supposed to be a pastel leopard het albino to albino champagne, and we were hatching out stuff that did not look like it made any sense at all. It looked like there was a pied in there, it looked like there was actually looked kind of like Mystic Potion-y when I saw it in the egg in there. It had me stumped. I thought maybe I mislabeled the clutch. Turns out I didn't. So I'll show you what I got here. First one is a het albino. And then we got a pastel het albino. Okay, and then we got, this is a pastel albino leopard. And then this one is it's a pastel champagne, and I would say it's probably a leopard too. That's a lot darker than most pastel champagnes when they first hatch. Got a real dark head. Now these haven't shed yet. These just came out of the egg a couple days ago, maybe even, I think it was yesterday. So they haven't shed yet, so they're not showing their full colors. That's why they all look real dull and kind of glossy. But then the other one that I hatched, the one that I thought was a pied, is this little beauty right here. It's got a nice ringer right there, that's the part of it that I saw in the egg. So I assumed it was a pied. And nope, it's not. It is a leopard champagne het albino. I love leopard and champagne, especially if you mix enchi in there, but even without it. I mean, look at how cool this snake is. And hopefully I'll have time to do another video of these guys when they're all shed. I hatched some leopard champagne stuff last year and absolutely loved it. And I don't know, I just really think that it's hard to do something to a champagne to really pull out a different look than a typical champagne. You know, like adding just pastel to it, or you know, some of those some genes to it, it doesn't look like much different from a regular champagne. Maybe the color's different, but pattern's pretty much the same. Leopard really brings out that pattern, kind of like enchi does in champagne. And like I said, if you get leopard and enchi into the same champagne, that is awesome. And here's the last baby from that clutch. This is an albino pastel leopard, and it very well may have champagne in it too. I'm sorry, not albino pastel leopard. It's albino pastel champagne, and it may have leopard in it. And I'm sure you can all hear Spike in the background making his noise like usual. Spike's my umbrella cockatoo, for those of you who don't know. He's in another room with we have a closed door here, so he's very loud right now. Okay, so that's that clutch. I just wanted to show you that I actually didn't mislabel it. I just wasn't thinking about what I actually saw in there to be what could have been there. So now I have another clutch here. This is from the same pastel leopard het albino bred to an albino. And these have actually shed, so you'll get to see a little bit more here. Just a regular pastel het albino. A couple of pastel leopard het albinos. And then here's a regular albino. And here's a pastel albino. You can see the difference in color there. Pastel's a little brighter yellow. The regular one's a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm going to move these so we can focus all of our attention on the good stuff from this clutch. Here is an amazing albino leopard. I'm really liking leopard stuff. I'm putting it into a lot of different things, and this is one of my favorites that I've done. I held back a couple of these last year, and they still look phenomenal at a year old and almost ready to breed, about ready to breed now. Okay, here is an albino pastel leopard, and I held back one of these too. So last year I kept back a male of these and a male of these, and they both look incredible. I don't really even know which one looks better at this point. Right now I'd actually have to, I think, give the nod to this one, because I mean that's orange. You know, like it's it just does so much to the color. So then the next thing I want to do with this is I want to get Enchi into it. See what the Enchi version of that looks like. But I mean, just look at the orange on him. That bold pattern along the eyes there. It's just, I don't know, I just love them. I really, really like this more. Okay, so I'm going to move along here. I had a few other nice little clutches here to show you. Okay, this next one is from, I brought a Albino Enchi Het Clown to an Albino Clown. So all these are going to look albino. Some of them are going to turn out to be Albinos. They're either going to be Albinos or albinos. It's going to take me probably a month or two to really see the Albino colors coming through on the ones that end up being Albino. So Albino Enchi Het Clown to Albino Clown. Here's the first one. This is a regular albino or Albino. And then things start to get a little confusing from there. We got this guy right here, very striped, but not albino clown stripe, because albino clown would have a white stripe going down the back, not a dark yellow stripe. And the pattern along the face is a little bit clown-like, but I don't think it's an actual clown. And here's another one kind of like that. It's pretty similar. It's kind of unusual face patterns, unusual striping going down most of the body on this one and part of the body on that one. My albino clown line has a lot of banding in it compared to some others. They do tend to get a lot of pattern. Like even on my straight albino clowns, a lot of them are really banded, pretty heavily patterned. The original albino that I used to make my double hets years and years ago was a really strong banded animal too. And when I first started out producing albinos, probably like in 2004, 2005, a lot of them came out with very strong banding where they almost looked Enchi. And I don't know if there's anything inheritable or anything genetic in my albinos from back then that promotes the banding, but it seems to have come through in my albino clowns. So yeah, this is either regular albino or Albino. Not quite sure what's going on with these, but they're either albinos or Albinos. And then we're going to look at these. Here is an albino clown, and there's also Enchi in some of these too. Like this one right here. This one's got Enchi in it. I'm not sure about this one. This one's so striped that I can't really tell for sure, but this one definitely has Enchi in it. And then this albino or Albino clown has a really awesome pattern. You can see a lot of the banding. I'm not sure if there's Enchi in this one or not, but I would say it's definitely in this one. So those are the two definite clowns in the clutch. And a lot of people ask, well, how do you tell with albino clowns if they're actual clowns? You can just see the head pattern screams clown. Even though these two have very different head patterns, they're both obvious clowns. So it'll be interesting to see which ones of these end up being Albino and which ones end up being regular albino, but I think it's got really good potential. I really think these are going to color up really nicely as they get bigger, hopefully bring a little bit more vividness to the albino clown project. And I'm working on some other clown projects that are going to go into albino too, which will hopefully bring out and maintain the pattern a little bit better than what a typical albino clown has. I still think there's a lot of potential with the albino clown. Okay, I'm going to put these away and show you next one here. Okay, this clutch is from a Banana Calico Enchi Yellow Belly bred to an Enchi Fire. So I'm going to try to remember what all these are. Okay, this is just an Enchi Yellow Belly. Pretty sure there's Enchi in that anyway. This is a banana. I don't think there's anything else in him. Maybe yellow belly, but I don't know. The yellow belly bananas tend to maintain the contrast a little bit better than a typical banana. A lot of regular bananas, the purple kind of fades out a bit. When you have yellow belly in it, it tends to stay a little bit more higher contrasted. But yellow belly is sometimes difficult to identify in banana. And then got this one right here. I'm gonna put some of these away, they're kind of squirmy. This is an Enchi yellow belly banana. So that should be a really, really nice looking adult. Here's a fire banana. I don't think there's anything else in there. Here is an Enchi calico, yellow belly. And here's a fire Enchi calico yellow belly. No super Enchis in this clutch as far as I could tell. The female was an Enchi fire, the male was a banana calico Enchi yellow belly. So I kind of was hoping to get a couple of these things in super Enchi form. So that's a fire Enchi calico yellow belly. This clutch is really squirmy. I'm going to be setting these up today. These just shed. You can see their tub is fairly filthy. When they hatch out, I take them out of their incubation container and I put them in a container like this with clean white paper towel, and then I just spray a little bit of water in there. I have limited airflow in and out so they don't get dried out, and then they can shed in there. And normally I'll change the papers once or twice between when I put them in there the first time and when they actually shed about a little over a week later. So then so now these are going to come out of this container. They're going to get set up in their own individual container, get labels and everything, so I can keep track of who's what. Okay, the last clutch. This is I think a big one, at least for me it is. This is another clown clutch. Bamboo Womas Het Clown to Pastel Clown. So I believe there's some world's firsts in here. There's a pastel Womas Het Clown, and I believe that one's a female. Here's a pastel Womas Clown. The way I can tell that is the pattern is a lot thinner. Not as thin as like a bumblebee clown, but because the Womas is, I mean, like this, if you look at this compared to a bumblebee, the only difference is spiders in the bumblebee and Womas in this one. So you could see the pattern is wider than what you get if it had spider in there. Same thing with this. A bumblebee version of this is going to have a lot narrower pattern down the back than this one does. The next one here's a pastel bamboo Womas, who's het per clown. Here's a pastel Womas clown. Pastel Womas bamboo clown. Bamboo's kind of an important part of that to have in here. Here's another one. Got a little bit of paradoxing too. You can see the kind of the darker spots on them where more pigment came through. Not quite as crazy as this one. That is a really, really cool snake. I love paradox, and I wish there was some way to make them come out more consistently, but they do come out a lot. I probably produce anywhere from 10 to 15 paradox animals per year. So that's probably less than 1% of the babies that I have every year come out paradoxing, but when they do, they always really stand out like that. So this one, I'm not sure if there's pastel in there, but it's definitely a bamboo Womas clown. And that one's a male too, and I know I'm going to need to keep a male, so that's probably going to be the one that I keep. So yeah, this one's not a clown here, so got a nice trio of bamboo clown combos. I'm working on getting bamboo into a few other different clown combos too. Banana. Let's see, what else am I looking at? I don't know. I've got a few other different clutches possibly coming this year, and more combos that I want to do next year. I'm also working on leopard bamboo clowns. Hopefully I'll get some of those later this year. Okay, well, I think that's everything I have for today. I gotta get to work and get all these set up. This time of year, it's hard for me to get a lot of animals for sale on my website, but you can go online and check it out at royalconstrictordesigns.com. I got probably 350 to 400 animals for sale on there right now with individual photos. I'm gonna be working on getting more up soon. It's just that in August and September, I'm so busy. Like, this is the height of my hatching season. So it's all I can do just to keep up with getting these guys set up, let alone taking pictures. But I do try to reserve a little bit of time, at least once a week, to take a few pictures and get new snakes up for sale. I do have a complete price list on my website too, so you can go on there, click on that, and you can see a list. Like, basically, once I set these guys up in their individual cages, I'll add them into my inventory so you can see everything that I have. And the list on there is very long and extensive. It's actually really hard to keep up with too, but I've got everything separated by the year they hatched and also the general color morph, like the base morph. Like, all my 2018 clowns are all going to be listed in one spot. All my 2017 clowns are going to be all listed under the 2017 animals in one spot. So yeah, that's basically how I do it. So if you see anything that you're interested in on there, let me know and I may be able to provide pictures. Otherwise, I'll be getting all the stuff up on my website as soon as I can. So in the meantime, I will try to get some more videos up soon. I've got a lot of babies that are hatching and shedding right now, more than I can count, I think. And I'll get some more up soon, and I'll try to get more snakes up on the website soon too. So until then, make sure to check out my website, royalconstrictordesigns.com, and also make sure to like royalconstrictordesigns.com on Facebook. Thanks.